I've painted imperial cormorants, otherwise known as imperial shags or rock shags, and they are here displayed in pyramid fashion, having a big argument about where everyone's going to sit. Well, I've done quite a few Falkland Conservation art auctions, and so my starting point is always what would someone not mind hanging on the wall of their house. And so penguins is always a good option, but imperial cormorants with all of their different colours and life are also really interesting bird that people don't mind hanging on the inside of their toilet door.
I did this sunset heading west up Ross Road. Most of my paintings are just, I take photos when I'm out and about, when I see something that I think I'd like to paint. I've got probably hundreds and hundreds of photos that I'd like to paint that I never get round to actually doing anything with most of the time. But this is one that I happened to get round to painting because I had a bit of time, and I guess it relates to conservation in that it's just a nice scene in the Falklands. There's a lot of logger ducks and things that live along that wall, lots of birds, not that you can see them in the painting, but yeah.
I have done a watercolour and ink painting of a flightless steamer duck, so I've called it Taking Flight. I mean, I was just exploring really. I have a love of Falklands wildlife growing up here, but I always quite enjoy seeing the logger ducks and their sort of tenacity that even whilst we know they're flightless, I don't think they know that, and you could almost imagine them taking off because they're so determined to steam off into the sky.
Yeah, I'm always happy to contribute. The work that Falklands Conservation do is really important, and if a little bit of my painting can help towards that in some way, then that's something I'm very happy to be involved with.
One of my favourite things about living here is the wildness of it and the amazing amounts of wildlife that we have here, so protecting that and protecting the way the Falklands is now is important to me, so I always try and contribute if I can.
The Conservation Ball is one of the biggest fundraisers for conservation every year, and I think it's important to keep it going and keep that momentum. And also it's just a nice thing to be involved with, get to use my creative skills to contribute in some way.
In total, we have about 31 lots. 8 of those will be exclusively available at the live auction on the night of the ball. But if you can't make the ball, there's still opportunity to place a pre-bid. So if you come to the Malvina, there'll be slips where you can fill out how much you'd be willing to bid, and then the auctioneer will bid on your behalf on the night of the ball. We also have online auction options as well. So if you go to our social media, you'll see that we have a link to the Jumblebee website, which hosts all of our auction items that are available exclusively online. We're raising money for all the general activities of conservation here. A lot of people really appreciate the wildlife, the habitats that exist here in the Falkland Islands, and so for us it's really important that we can also contribute to that and continue our work, whether that be sort of restoration work or working directly with animals such as the whale research that Caroline does, or looking at seabird monitoring, which Amanda does every year, which is really important to monitor the health of different wildlife populations. So these funds that we get from the auction, and not just the auction but the wider conservation events that take place during this time of year, all contribute to that important work. And this year our theme is restoration, which again is very timely. There's a lot of restoration work going on, particularly with the climate crisis that we're facing and wanting to make sure that we're protecting our land and our habitats so that our species that are living here in the Falklands can thrive.